Welcome back. This is a 15-minute morning yoga sequence for the whole body. Conrad is here to help me show you some of the variations, and we will get started in a cross-legged position just like this. So go ahead and place one hand on each knee and begin to circle clockwise, getting the spine to move around. You can have the eyes closed if you'd like as you slowly wake up from the inside, from your core, from the spine. And let this be kind of a meditative circling. About 2 more times in this direction. See if the head and neck want to move in any certain way with your spine. And after this next circle, just keep on going, but in the opposite direction. Take your time. You can emphasize your middle spine more, or your upper spine, or your lower spine. See what's happening inside of this body this morning, checking in. One more circle. And bring it back to the center, sitting upright, and now just bending forward, taking the hands on the floor in front of you, and letting the head relax forward, letting the shoulders relax. And take both hands over to your right side, getting the stretch a little bit more into the left side of your back. Connecting with your breath as you stretch. And coming back to the center and then over to the other side. Breathing into your back and breathing into wherever you feel this stretch. And come back to the center and then all the way upright with your spine and right into downward facing dog pose. Taking your downward dog with feet as wide apart as your mat, if you're on a mat, or just wider than the shoulders, we'll say. And if it feels good, you can bend the knees one at a time, pressing the opposite heel down toward the ground. Good, and now from here, center the left foot so that you can lift your right leg up and back. 3-legged dog. Lift your gaze so you feel a little back bend. And now take the leg forward into a lunge. And drop the back knee down onto the ground. And now take your right hand onto your knee and lift your left arm up. Inhale, take a little back bend here, gazing up as you reach. And now a twist. Elbow comes across the knee, palms over on the side, palms together on the side. And you can keep the knee down, or if you're having a little more energy and want to challenge your balance this morning, then lift the back leg up. Breathe. Good, and release back down. Hands on either side of the front foot. Step back, downward dog. And from downward dog, left leg up and back. Lift the gaze, feeling that little back bend, activating the spinal muscles, and then take the leg forward to your lunge. Drop the back knee down to the ground. And sweep the arms, or left hand on the knee, and sweep the right arm up. Taking a little back bend, reaching up, looking up. And now take your elbow across your knee. Palms together on the left side. Two more breaths here. And releasing hands to either side of the front foot and step back into downward dog. And from downward dog, come into plank pose, hovering shoulders over the wrists. 3 breaths here. And now drop the knees and come all the way down onto your belly and right into cobra pose lift. So you can do low or high. We're going to do 3 lifts in cobra starting now. First one, low like Conrad or high like mine or somewhere in between. Come on down, exhaling, and with the inhale, come up again. And with the exhale, back down. And a third time, inhale. Exhale, back down, and press your hips back to child's pose. And breathing in child's pose. And from this child's pose, taking it into a frog pose or a tadpole pose. So the tadpole pose is kind of like child's pose, but with wider knees, and you keep your feet together. And you can widen the knees more or less depending on how the stretch in the inner groins feels in your body. And if you want to take it a step farther from there, you can open the feet a little bit wider. And this choice is not really so much a deeper or better pose, it's just different. It works better for some people to have the feet closer together and for others to have them wide. So in both cases, just getting that groin stretch, that inner thigh stretch is what's important. And you can be elbows on the ground or forehead on the ground, or use support if you like to have a bolster or pillows under you. And stay connected to your breath. Good, and coming up now and making your way to a seated position. So draw the knees in and into half butterfly pose. So your left leg forward, your right leg bent, and the right knee turned out to the side. Feel free to sit up on a lift of a folded blanket or pillows as you come forward over your left leg. And softening and relaxing here. If you enjoy the side body stretch, you can always take this right hand to the outside of the leg to get a little more of the side body stretch. Or maybe just resting the hands on the floor, or if you like to hold the foot, or have them on the shin. And you know, in one way it doesn't matter what your hands are doing, but in another way it does matter, because it makes you, it alters the pose ever so slightly, what you decide to do with your arms and hands, even though the primary stretch, of course, is the leg and the torso, the back of the spine. Good, that's about a minute on that side. Let's come on up and take it into the second side. Oh, this is my tender side these days. If you ever get a yogis overstretch their hamstrings at times. It's one of the most common yoga injuries, and I have a low-grade one right now. It's not the first time I've had this, but they take a long time to heal when you get that overstretched hamstring tendon. So I am working tenderly and gingerly on this side. I'm being very patient for several weeks now, but slowly improving. And come on up and moving into the shoelace pose. So we will have the left knee over the right to begin. And Conrad prefers to do the square pose, so this is not for everybody. If your knees don't like to be on top of each other like this, then you can widen it like Conrad. And in either case, we're looking for a stretch of the left glutes. So come on forward. Feel free to prop yourself if that helps you to be more comfortable in the pose. If the knees aren't coming all the way down in either variation, that is not a big deal as long as you're getting that stretch in the left glutes. Staying connected to your breath as you breathe with the sensation, as you breathe into the sensation. And now slowly release. And lean back on your hands to switch sides. Right knee on top of the left. And now slowly coming up and making your way onto your back. And on the back, we're going to come into a twist. So both knees come in and over to the right. Gotta take my ponytail out when I come onto my back. All right, and you can take your right hand on top of your knees. You can cross the knees if that feels good to you, left over the right. Your left arm is reaching out to the left side, and turn your head away from the knees. And breathe into what you're feeling in your spine. And breathe into your obliques and your ribs and your side body here as you stretch in this twist. And now take the knees back up to the center and over to the second side, so you can scoot your hips over to the right first and then take the knees in and over to the left. Right arm stretching out to the right side, left hand on the knees, or any version, any variation of spinal twist that you prefer. Full breath. And bring the legs back up to the center and stretch yourself out into Savasana, corpse pose. Let yourself totally rest and relax for 1 full minute here. Feel the energy in the body. Feel the aliveness. Welcoming the day, welcoming your awareness into the day. And bending the knees, draw them into the chest. Lift your head up towards your knees. And then roll over onto the side and make your way up into a sitting position. Thank you for sharing in this practice. Thank you, Conrad, for joining me. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.
Namaste.
Well done. Thank you for joining me. And if you liked this practice, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel, and you'll hear about the classes that I'm putting out every week. And check out my latest Yin Yoga video. And also, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.